Come with me as I disassemble the Black Panther bust to get ready for a new MOC. So now that I got the structure broken down into these smaller components, I can break these down into individual parts and get them sorted so I can resort them for the build. So this process took me about 2.5 hours to completely disassemble this set. So once I had it broken down to those larger components, I just sat down and started breaking apart those larger components into smaller pieces. And while I was at it, decided to go ahead and do a initial preliminary sort, doing it, like odd shaped plates, bricks, Technic, some generic divisions. That way I could sort them out later. And it's a very tedious process. My fingers were very, very sore at the end of it because, 2.5 hours of breaking down Lego parts is just very, tiresome on the fingers. But it was very rewarding, and I learned a lot about sorting and doing this because I've never actually sorted something this big before. So there was an interesting process. It's been a while since I built the original Black Panther set, and so I've forgotten how many parts were involved. Well over 2,000, and taking it apart in reverse and getting it sorted was just a very long process. And I enjoyed learning about how to sort and just figuring out as I go, and using different bins. And notice I had to switch to a larger bin because I had so many of one different kind of part type that I had to expand what I had. All right, so after 2.5 hours of breaking down the Black Panther, this is how I've got it initially sorted. So starting over here, I've got mostly Technic parts right in here. This one is like all the small pieces, like the small slopes, the grills, some of the smaller plates. I'm gonna have to go back and resort this. This is way too much to go through to find parts. This one is completely full of large plates. And these two are bricks. Mostly standard, like 2x, brick here. A couple of these specialty, like the rail bricks. Some of the angled ones here. I'm gonna have to sort through these as well to get a little more better organized before I start parting it out for the MOC. And after many hours sorting all the parts, I have them all bagged up, ready to part out for my MOC. Starting here, we got like 2x plate, 2x brick, a whole bunch of that. Technic, 1x brick, tiles, odd shaped bricks, 1x tile, all the connector pieces, there's a lot of them in there. The 1x2x2 snot bricks, a bunch of those in there too, a bunch of the curves and arches, plates, the big plates, all of this. Now I get to sit and part this out to get ready to build the MOC. And here we are, all the pieces sorted into 25 like build stages and ready to build. So looking forward to seeing how this looks when it's all finished.